We have now come to our final lessons, numbers 361 through 365. The introduction to these lessons is as follows. Our final lessons will be left as free of words as possible. We use words at the beginning of our practicing and only to remind us that we seek to go beyond words. Let us turn to the Holy Spirit who leads the way and makes our footsteps sure. To the Holy Spirit we leave these lessons, as to the Holy Spirit we give our lives henceforth. For we would not return again to the ego's belief in sin that made the world seem ugly and unsafe, attacking and destroying, dangerous in all the world's fear-based ways, and treacherous beyond the hope of trust and the escape from pain. The Holy Spirit is the only way to find the peace that God has given us. It is the Holy Spirit's way that everyone must travel in the end to reach the peace of God, because it is this peaceful ending God Himself appointed. In the dream of time, the Holy Spirit's way seems to be far off, and yet, in truth, the Holy Spirit's way is already here, already serving us as gracious guidance in the way to go toward peace. Let us together follow in the way that truth points out to us, and let us be the leaders of our many brothers who are seeking for the way of the Holy Spirit, but find it not. And to this purpose of following and leading in the Holy Spirit's way, let us dedicate our minds, directing all our thoughts to serve the function of salvation. Unto us the aim is given to forgive the world. Forgiveness of the world is the goal that God has given us. Forgiveness of the world is God's ending to the dream we seek, and not the dream ending in our own ego's condemnation of ourselves and the world. For all that we forgive, we will not fail to recognize as part of God Himself, and thus God's memory is given back, completely and complete. It is our function to remember God on earth, as our function is given us to be God's own completion in reality. So let us not forget our goal of completing God that is shared, for it is that remembrance which contains the memory of God and points the way to God and to the heaven of the peace of God. And shall we not forgive our brother, who can offer this completion and remembrance of God to us? Our brother is the way, the truth, and life that shows the way to us. In our brother resides salvation. Salvation is offered us through our forgiveness given unto our brother. We will not end this year without the gift our Father promised to His Holy Son. We are forgiven now, and we are saved from all the wrath we thought belonged to God, and found the wrath of God was a dream. We are restored to sanity, in which we understand that anger is insane, attack is mad, and vengeance merely foolish fantasy. We have been saved from wrath because we learned our egoic mind was mistaken. Nothing more than that, for mistakes are not sins. And is a father angry at his son because the son failed to understand the truth about his sinlessness and innocent reality? We come in honesty to God and say we did not understand the truth, and ask God to help us to learn God's lesson for truth through the voice of God's own teacher, the Holy Spirit. Would God hurt His Son? Or would God rush to answer His Son and say, "This is my Son, and all I have is His"? Be certain God will answer thus, for these are God's own words to you, that all God has been given eternally to you. And more than the all that God has given you can no one ever have, for in these words is all there is, and all that there will be throughout all time and in eternity.
Here's a little note to the introduction to A Course in Miracles Final Workbook Lessons, which really covers lesson 361 through 365. Follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit, for this is the only way one can find the peace of God. Your ego is clueless as to the truth and has mistaken the dream of lack, limitation, and separation to be your reality. Instead, give all your thoughts over to the Holy Spirit and focus upon the salvation of your brother. Since the law of God states that to give is to receive, by recognizing our brother's sinless nature, we reawaken to our true nature as our biggest self. Our aim is to forgive the world that our ego imagines. In time, forgiveness is the function and goal God has given us to fulfill. All that we forgive is recognized as part of God, and therefore, through our forgiveness of our world, we remember God. Our function is to remember God on earth, and through this remembrance complete the reality of God. Grace is the acceptance of the love of God in a world of seeming hate and fear. Through our forgiveness, we transform the fear-based world of egoic misperception into a world of forgiveness, mercy, and love. Our salvation rests on our brother's salvation. When we forgive our brother, we realize that God's wrath exists only within the nightmare of our egoic mind's imagination. We have always remained as God created us, perfect, whole, and complete, part of the one self. We understand that anger is insane, attack, madness, and vengeance a foolish fantasy. Following our ego's fear-based thought system has only brought pain, conflict, and self-condemnation. By turning our thoughts over to the Holy Spirit, we realize that our ego's misperceptions were mere mistakes that require correction, not punishment. When we recognize sin's non-existence, we are free to drop our allegiance to our ego's judgments and misperceptions and follow the voice for love and forgiveness. By following the Holy Spirit's thought system, we are restored to sanity. Our split mind is healed and our big S self remembered. Our ego's judgments and beliefs give way to the Holy Spirit's correct perception. Our healed mind is now able to hear God's voice say that we are God's one Son, and all God has belongs to us, His Son. Being God's creation, we are an inseparable extension of the mind of God Himself. All that God is has been given unto us, and thus we can want for nothing. We accept the truth of the at-one-ment for ourselves and are restored to sanity. Our mind is now awake and will sleep no more. This is Tom Wakechild. Enjoy this last lesson. And as always, create a great day for yourself and your world. Namaste.